Hare Krishna. So, welcome all of you to this class. Yes. All right. So, let us begin today's class of chapter number 17, Bhagavad Gita, level number 2. And we have already did this. We will do a little bit of recap first, and then we will continue. And today we have a very powerful learning about Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat is very mysterious and has got a deep meaning, and it has got a great significance in our life. So Om Tat Sat actually tells us how should we work. I mean, the actual spirit of working. So we will see all of that by the end of today's class. So just stay back and just hear this wonderful class, and you will learn a lot from today's class of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is chapter number 17, also called as the Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So we often wonder, what is the reason why people have different kinds of faith? Different kind of people have different kinds of faith, and we often wonder what is the kind of faith why people have. So why people have certain kind of faith, we will understand from today's class. Okay, so let us start with the prayers and dedications. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Nitai Chaitanya ki jai, Parshuram Bhagavan ki jai. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनित्य नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. This session is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Spiritual Master and GBC, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai. All right, we will do a very, very quick recap of chapter number 17. Okay, we will understand. So here is the point. So, what is the most important point here of Bhagavad Gita chapter number 17? Introduction is about following the rules and regulations given in the scriptures. So, these scriptures are very different from what we have right now, what we call as the law book or the constitution. So, I think we have around 196 countries or something in the world, and few of them are monarchies, few of them are democracies, few of them are different kinds of systems we have, dictatorship, etc., etc., etc. And all of them have a law book for them, do's and don'ts, rules, regulations, immigration rules, writing votes, marriage rules. So people have written a lot of things, but what is the basis of all of these books? How are we manufacturing these rules and regulations is something which we should think about. Actually, we cannot manufacture these rules and regulations. They are supposed to be given by great sadhus or by great acharyas or great rishis and great thinkers, great munis. Not that we just go with the public poll and do it, because the public may or may not know the intricacies of karma. The karma is very, very strong, very powerful, right? Just think about it for a while. The kind of circumstances that you are currently in, just close your eyes and just think about it for 5 seconds. Just close your eyes for 5 seconds and just remember what is the current circumstance that you are in right now. So positive or negative, it can be anything. Maybe there is some disturbance, maybe in your health, or maybe in the family, maybe in relationships, maybe in the office, or maybe everything is fine for now. Maybe something turbulent was happening last year, or maybe your health is good right now, but maybe there's some other problem with respect to your neighbors, or maybe your senses are not working properly, eyes are becoming weak, whatever. So something is happening. There is something that's going on in your life. So just think about it. If you really reflect very deeply and think, Why am I getting these circumstances? Right? I didn't anticipate this. Did I? We didn't anticipate it, but still we're getting that circumstance and we are forced to deal with that circumstance which we are not prepared for. Now that is karma, right? So who understands this karma? Who is going to give the rules of karma? This karma, there is no scientific literature that believes in karma. Okay, modern science has no explanation for karma, right? But everybody sees it, practically experiences it firsthand. Am I right? So now, who is going to govern us with the rules and regulations? It's not possible that we can manufacture something. So, for example, our perspective may be short sighted because we only think about what we are able to see. But there's a lot that is not seen to us, and there's a lot that's going on, right? For example, if a person is dying, what's happening to that person after death? Nobody knows, right? The scientists have been researching, but they could not find out anything. What happens to a person after death? No idea, absolutely no idea. So, but then the Vedas come into picture in that point, and they give that information to us very beautifully. What happens? Whatever is not seen with our eyes, whatever we cannot understand with our limited logic and understanding, that mysteries the Vedas will give us understanding. So that's where the Vedas will give us understanding. It's a solid understanding, solid framework, completely integrated. All the science, all the fields of study are integrated with this and consistently integrated. It's not just some speculative theory that or disconnected religion where we say religion is different, science is different. But at least as far as Sanatana Dharma, Indian religion is concerned, it's not like religion is different and science is different. Everything is integrated and everything is one. So, for example, I'll tell you something very interesting. Ask a doctor, why did I get this disease? They will tell you the circumstances. Okay, you got this disease because you were not eating hygienic food. That's one question. That's one answer. That's very easy. Or you can say, okay, why did I get this disease? Okay, you got this disease because you are not exercising. That's an easy one. Ask them, why did I get this disease? Then if you ask again, the medical practitioner will be really puzzled. Sometimes the disease have no causes. Then when there is no cause, say we cannot tell you the answer. We don't know what's the answer. Come on, there must be some answer for it, right? Why am I suffering? Why did I get this disease? Why did I get this problem? Tell me why. Medical science has no answer. But Ayurveda Shastra says in very simple words, the disease is nothing but our past karma. So, Purva Janma Roga as becomes Purva Janma Kritam Papam Roga Rupena Vyavastiti. Means in the previous lifetime, whatever sinful activity we have done comes as disease in this lifetime. It's given in the medical textbook of Ayurveda. Can any medical textbook from modern science answer this like this with this kind of clarity? Not possible. Am I right? It's not possible. Very logical, simple. We may accept, we may not accept. It's difficult sometimes. It's difficult to understand and accept that what kind of sinful activity did I do in the last life? I don't even remember. That's a different story altogether. But this is the explanation. And there is some kind of a law that we are all governed with. And that law is perfectly working. That's called as the law of the material nature. Okay. And then these laws of material nature, they cannot be written by human beings with ordinary intelligence. It's not that, okay, I do some kind of LLB degree, or maybe I'm a big scholar. I went to, I'm a barrister in UK and I will write something now. That's not possible. Okay. You can't write, the laws of material nature cannot be written. They are the laws of God. Right? These are the laws which are given in the Vedas. You have to study Vedas for that. You have to study the Dharma Sutras for that. Otherwise, you cannot. Hare Krishna. Yes. Any questions? Salvam Prabhu, you wanted to say something?
Guruji,
Yes,
a
please.
good person suddenly dies.
Huh?
A good person suddenly dies.
Hmm.
But a bad person, he may be having so many bad habits, but still
Yes.
he is surviving good. What is the
Yes.
problem, Guruji?
Yeah, very interesting point, bro. Actually, yes, I heard an interview of a person who lived for 100 years plus. And he was asked, like, what is your secret? He said, I have no secret. I do everything which doctors say don't do. I have all kinds of bad habits, but I still lived. Nobody knows why people live for a certain age. Nobody knows that answer. There may be some people who I know the other extreme case also, like who have been very extremely careful about health, about exercise, about only eating at home, but succumb to cancer. Happens. Now,
It
who
is
is
also a
expert?
karma, no, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
It is also a karma, no?
Karma, yeah. There's no other explanation. Where is the explanation? That's what. Where is the explanation? We can't explain this with chemicals, no, or mathematical equations. It's a simple, of course, it's a mathematical equation, but not in a way that we understand. Okay, it's a karma. Karma is a mathematical equation from the past life. Okay, it's karma. Only the Vedas have this secretive knowledge. Nobody has. Surprisingly, only two religions in the world believe in karma. Two or three Indian religions: Jainism, India, Hinduism, and Buddhism. The other religions have no clue about karma at all. I mean, in India, you see even anybody, uh, even the somebody who is like completely illiterate also, they say that it's because of my karma this is happening. So simple. Everybody is a philosopher in India. They know, they have spiritual knowledge. Right? Because that's why this bhumi, this Bharat bhumi is very punya bhumi. Right? People are very advanced. We have advanced spiritual knowledge, but we're not taking it very seriously. That's the problem. So the whole point of 17th chapter is this: do not take it lightly. That's what Krishna is saying. So 16th chapter, and he said, do not take the scriptures easily. Yet shastra buddhim srijya vartante kamakarataha nasasantim avapnoti nasiddhim paramgati. If we ignore the scriptural injunctions and whimsically lead our lives and spend all the time away, then we can never be happy. We can never attain perfection. We can never go back to Godhead. With our whimsical understandings and speculations and trying to create some theories, we cannot create this kind of theories. We just have to accept Shastra as it is. The Shastra is saying, do this, we should do it. For example, Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, meditate upon the limbs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Just meditate upon the limbs of Vishnu. And then your Rajas Tamas will come down. You see, the agitated mind will relax, will become very peaceful, calm. But we don't want to meditate upon Vishnu, we want to meditate upon a candle and a lamp. Therefore, we will not get the Paramgatim. How will we get? If you don't follow the instructions which is given on the medicine and take it whimsically, the dosage says you must take 5 ml 3 times a day, but I take 1 ml or I take 50 ml one time a day. It's not going to work that way. We have to follow the label for instructions. And that instructions are given in the Vedas. Therefore, Krishna is saying, stressing on that, follow the instructions, follow the dosage, read the label, read the scriptures, follow the instructions. Don't do anything whimsically, right? Even
Then
the
it
rules. Yes, Prabhu?
can we nullify our karmas? That is Nishkarma Karma Yoga.
Nishkama Karma Yoga is somewhat useful, but actually there are two main ways of cutting karma. One is jnana. Jnanagni dagdha karmani. There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita. With the transcendental knowledge, you can burn our karma. That is one way. And still more effective way, much more effective way, is by chanting the holy names of Krishna. That is a topmost way of cutting off all kinds of karma. You see? So that's about karma. Okay. Now coming back to the topic that we have to follow the scriptures, scriptural injunctions. Scriptural injunctions, there is some sense to it. So scriptural injunctions, if you do not have time to read all the scriptural injunctions, just uh, watch Ramayana, hear Ramayana, read Ramayana. You will see the Supreme Lord Ramachandra, he is himself enacting dharma for us. How to be, how to act like a perfect person. And how do you behave in the society? How do you act like a king? How do you act like a son, the perfect husband, the perfect father, right? The perfect friend. He's showing us dharma. Of course, we will not be able to imitate Lord Ramachandra because he's the supreme personality of Godhead. We can't imitate him. I understand that, but at least we can take inspiration. He's doing it so that it's called showing and doing. I mean, it's called, this, I forgot the word for it. It's like demonstration. So it's like God is showing us how we should be living. Okay. And Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us the topmost instructions, and Bhagavad Gita is telling the same thing. It's telling the same thing that, Krishna is telling Mat Chitta Sarva Durgani. Mat Chitta. The entire Bhagavad Gita, if you condense it to two words, it is Mat Chitta. Mat Chitta. What does that mean? Anybody can tell me? What is Mat Chitta?
Chitta means mind.
Okay. Mat means
Mind.
mind. That means, yeah. Yeah.
Not.
Self-analysis, I think.
No. When Krishna is saying man, he's talking about him, Krishna. Krishna consciousness. Mat Chitta means thinking about Krishna, meditating upon Krishna, listening about Krishna, hearing about the instructions of Krishna. This is Mat Chitta. So Mat Chitta Sarva Durgani, Mat Prasada Tarishyati. That means if we are Krishna conscious, always remain conscious of God, then Sarva Durgani Tarishyati. All the obstacles of life we can cross. It's like the Olympics. Sometimes there's a running race, right? So did you see that race? I don't know what that format called, but they put some obstacles. You have to jump. You have to run and jump over it. Hurdle race, right? So like that, our life is like a same. It's like a hurdles race, right? So we are running and then suddenly there's a hurdle and you have to learn how to jump over it. So it's called Sarva Durgani Tarishyati. So if you want to cross over all the hurdles of life, Mat Chitta, keep Krishna in your consciousness and follow Krishna's instruction. All the hurdles will become clear. All the hurdles will automatically become clear, right? So that's the beauty. So this is the instruction of the Vedic literature, right? But the problem is not everybody is very serious about it, because somehow we have that confidence that I'm good without the Vedas. I don't need Vedas. I don't need these instructions. I am already good. But no, right? So I tell you something very interesting. There's a beautiful phrase in Bhagavad Gita, Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Think about it. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Kaushalam means perfection. Karma means activity, work, duty. This Bhagavad Gita teaches us the system of yoga by which you can act perfectly. So all these days we thought we can act the way we want to do it, but no, we have to act perfectly. We have to do the perfect action, because whatever we are doing, others are following us. Am I right? Whatever a superior does, the other person is following, right? So whatever a great man does, everybody is following him. Therefore, it's necessary that we do perfect actions. Just like how Lord Ramachandra showed us perfect action, right? How Parikshit Maharaj showed perfect action, right? Perfect action. So he renounced at the end. He was about to die in 7 days. He's not worried, right? He's not getting scared. He's not thinking about anything else. He's not looking for his protection. He just went and he went ahead and he's listening to the story of Krishna from Shukadeva Goswami. So perfect action, right? So yoga, karmasu kaushalam. We have to learn this art. And what is unfortunate is we are not teaching this art of doing work, right? How do we act in such a way that we do not get entangled? That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. A person who has become perfected in this art of doing work, he's doing everything, but yet he's not getting entangled in anything. He's sleeping, he's dreaming, he's eating, he's working, he's going out. Everything. but yet doing nothing. That's the act of perfect. That's called the perfection of doing work. So this is the thing. Chapter number 17 is about we have to follow the scriptures, but then somehow a lot of people, they don't care about this, and they are losing out a lot. They're losing out a lot, right? Because you see, Bhagavad Gita is the science of controlling your mind, right? Everybody's trying. What is that art? All the psychologists, psychiatrists of the America, it said that, funny fact, 1 in 4 psychiatrists in America visits another psychiatrist for help, or another psychologist for help, because they themselves are not having mental balance, right? So how do you balance your mind, which is the most powerful sense in our body, right? Everything is in our mind, right? That's what it says, right? Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Mind is the cause for our liberation. Mind is the cause for our attachment. Just think about it. Whatever we have achieved in our life, is it not because of our strong mind? Whatever we have not achieved in our life, is it not because of our weak mind? Or because of our distraction? Because of not having enough determination? Not acting? Is it not because of our mind again? So think about it. Every circumstance that we have in front of us is because of our mind. And when Bhagavad Gita is so beautifully giving us solutions how to tackle this mind, handle this mind, how many people are interested? Nobody. Not many are interested. So therefore, where is the question of happiness? We cannot be happy. When we are neglecting something so important, how can we be happy? That is why we've lost our happiness. So that's the thing. There's so many people who are not following the Shastras, which are so perfect, and ignoring these wonderful Shastras, right? We are not following. And therefore, we are having to pay the price for it. So this is about them. This is about all of us. This is about everybody. Because more or less, we don't follow everything, right? We are following to some extent. I mean, we are Indians and Hindus by birth, but how closely are we following Krishna? We are not sure. We'll find out from this chapter. So that's the question of Arjuna. What is the situation of those people who do not follow the principles of scriptures and worship according to their own imagination? There's some people who are worshipping even human beings also, right? And there's some people worshipping different kinds of forces of nature, different kinds of devatas, etc., etc., etc. The list goes on. Now, those who are not following the essence of the scripture and just worshipping according to their imagination, are they in sattva, raja, or tamas? Goodness, passion, or ignorance? This is another something very interesting. You see, sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. I've read one book on psychology. It's called as the parent, adult, and the child. So in that, he brought about a framework which is more or less a copy of the sattva, rajas, and tamas, where the psychologist, the doctor who wrote that book, he just mapped sattva guna to adult and rajoguna to the parent and tamoguna to the child, and he made a framework out of it. So this is what is happening. The West is actually actively following and reading our scriptures and making a very big, actually a very big business out of it, I must say. But we are neglecting what we have with us, okay? So what about these people who are in sattva, rajas, and tamas? What guna are they? Those who are worshipping according to their own imagination, right? How do we know that? Krishna says that faith is of 3 kinds. So you cannot say faith is the same. No, Shraddha is not the same. The topmost Shraddha means Krishna consciousness. To have faith in the words of Krishna is the topmost Shraddha. And that is beyond the 3 modes of material nature. But in the modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, we will see worship of the devatas or the demigods is said to be in the mode of goodness, Sattva Guna. And worship of the yakshas, rakshasas, demons, and human beings also is considered to be in the mode of passion. Worship of the ghosts and spirits is said to be in the mode of ignorance. All right. So, what is going to follow is very interesting now. Krishna is going to talk about food. Krishna is going to talk about how to do charity. Krishna is going to talk about how to do austerity. What are the different types of austerity? Krishna is going to talk about a very significant phrase, Om Tat Sat. We'll see all of that. Now, coming to the food. What kind of food should we eat and what kind of food should we avoid? The choice is simple. Avoid the food which is decomposed and tasteless and containing remnants, containing untouchable foods. Now, sometimes the frozen food also can be classified into this because it is kind of very long back it has been cooked, right? So it's not a sattvic bhojan, which has been preserved for a long time is not a good thing. Mode of passion is like too salty, too dry. You see, like very spicy masala, like very spicy biryani, like that. That's a very mode of passion. It causes distress and disease, all right? So here is a direct hint by Krishna. Why do we get diseases? Because maybe we are consuming the foods which are in mode of passion and ignorance. As simple as that. If you ask why are people so lazy, maybe we are eating food which is in mode of ignorance. Right? So the mode of ignorance causes sleep and laziness and mercilessness. And mode of goodness is good. So we are supposed to be eating food which is in the mode of goodness, juicy, wholesome, pleasing to heart. And the effect is that it increases the duration of life, purifies our existence, strengthens us, gives us health and satisfaction. Now, something interesting is tapasya. What is this tapasya? And what are the different kinds of tapasya we can do? Again, classified in 3. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. This is beautiful because not every religion has this framework of dividing into 3 divisions. We only have 2 divisions. Like for example, Islam has halal and haram, something which is good, which is bad. But here it is 3. And Krishna is saying it is, you can neither say it is good or bad. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. There is something beyond Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That is Krishna. That is Shuddha Sattva, Vishuddha Sattva. We should try to be beyond these 3 modes of material nature. However, we'll try to understand these 3 modes of material nature first. So, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. See, sacrifice everybody does, right? We sacrifice our time, we sacrifice our energy, we sacrifice our efforts, we sacrifice our comforts for the sake of some benefit. If we do it for some material benefit, it's called a mode of passion. If we do it without any faith, destruction, it is mode of ignorance. If we do it according to the scriptures as a duty, then it is mode of goodness. Such a sacrifice is something which we should aim to do. Okay? So, for example, I'll tell you something interesting. The Shastras do not say that let there be no war. The Kshatriya is recommended to fight. Kshatriya can fight and must fight for a proper cause, for the sake of protecting the innocent people. He must fight. But there are some rules and regulations of a war. A war must be, a person must not be attacked when a person is sleeping, when a person is not attentive, when a person does not have a weapon, when a person is a small child, or when a person is disabled, or if it is a woman, must not be attacked, or not ready, or is begging for forgiveness, must not be attacked. So these are some rules which were followed by the Vedic codes. But now, like, people are almost like animalistic. They do not follow any kind of code of conduct in the war. They become so animalistic. I mean, all the wars have become so dangerous because now the wars are like they attack the civilians now. They're not fighting amongst those people who have the weapons. It's not like two parties who have weapons who want to fight face to face. No, they want to attack the civilians. Just take the case of the nuclear bombing and things like that. Proxy wars. This is not something which the Shastra accepts. It is bad. It's condemnable. Okay, it does not give good result. All right, it's bad. And now coming to sacrifices of body, mind, and words, to worship the superiors, elders, to worship the guru, right? And to follow celibacy, cleanliness is called austerity of the body. Tapasya of the body is to respect the elders, worship the guru, spiritual master, worship of Krishna. Worship of Krishna is the tapasya of the body. And tapasya of the words is to have the speech filters. Speak whatever is truthful, speak whatever is pleasant, speak whatever is beneficial, and do not speak in an agitating manner. Do not agitate people with speech. A lot of countries have free speech. Speech is free, but it has to have these kind of filters. It should not be unpleasant. There are some facts which can cause people problem. We should avoid stating such facts. And what is the use of talking about something falsehood? Why should we spread falsehood? For the sake of some propaganda, right? People do a lot of propaganda these days, right? Some kind of narrative. That's not right. And unbeneficial things should not be shown, should not be spoken about. Agitating words must not be spoken, right? So this is the tapasya of the words. And tapasya of mind is to be simple, having self-control, trying to purify oneself. These are being peaceful, calm. These are the tapasya of the mind. Now, austerity in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So, in the mode of goodness, it is for the sake of pleasing the Supreme. Like Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj conducted 99 Ashwamedha Yajnas. And when he was doing the 100th Ashwamedha Yajna, do you know what happened? Something very strange. Do you know who got very envious? Any guesses?
Indra.
Indra became envious. Why should he become envious for the 100th Ashwamedha Yajna? Any guess?
Because he has already performed 100 yajnas and Prithu Maharaj performed 99. So he was very envious.
Yeah.
He would
It's
lose
like
the post.
you lose the post. Anybody who conducts 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas gets the post of Indra. Anybody interested in applying for that? Right? So that is qualification is 100 Ashwamedha Yajna. All right. So Prithu Maharaj did 99, 100th one. Indra wanted to do something. Okay. So what did he do? Right? Something interesting. What he did was like he came as a imposter and he stole away the horse. You see, the main thing about the Ashwamedha Yajna is the horse. The horse is stolen, then the Yajna cannot continue. So Indra came in some kind of some form as an imposter, and then he stole the horse and ran away. And Prithu Maharaj is very angry. He chased him and released the horse, left Indra. Again Indra came. Again he came in some kind of a form. He was holding a skull in his hand. Pashandi Mata. Pashandi means there are some set of people who are pseudo-religions. They appear spiritual and religious, but they are not. They are called Pashandis. Symptoms of Pashandis are they hold skulls in their hand. Okay. And they smear ashes over their body like that. And then they have very unclean habits. Like sometimes eating the corpses. which are floating on the rivers. These are called pashandis. So such people, if a common man sees, he will think, oh, wow, this person is naked. This person is so austere, is so great, but pashandi, not the proper religion. Okay, it's a concocted religion. It is wrong. Actually, it is wrong. Pashandi. Wearing the skulls, associating with the corpses, sitting in the, what do you say, that funeral places, like that. Okay, so what happens is Indra kept on manufacturing Pashandi Matas. So whatever he became the guru for all the Pashandi Matas, which I became. So finally, Ritu Maharaj got very agitated and he wanted to kill Indra. He was about to kill Indra, then Lord Brahma stopped him. So he was stopped. And then he calmed down, Ritu Maharaj. And then he finally completed the sacrifice. And then Lord Vishnu himself appeared. All the Devatas appeared. So what I'm trying to say, it's a mode of goodness, sacrifice, is not meant for some sake of name or fame. Prithu Maharaj does not want to become Indra. He does not aim for becoming, going to the heavenly planets and enjoying. That's not his aim of doing all these fire sacrifices. Okay, he's doing it as his duty. In fact, Prithu Maharaj is Shakti Avesh avatar of Lord Krishna. And he's doing it as a duty. He's setting an example. Okay, he was like, this happened millions of years ago. He was the first person who has actually created the civilizations. You see, we are very proud of metropolitan cities. Prithu Maharaj created metropolitan city. He divided the concept of metropolitan cities and villages and towns. He brought that concept millions of years ago. Okay, mode of passion is expectation of return with a grudging mood. You see, those people who do this pompous festivals, functions, who do it for the sake of some kind of pride, gaining respect, honor, and worship. So they want to become the supreme leaders of the world. That's why they are doing this kind of sacrifices, right? So they just want to be known as religious or something great. That's why they're doing it. Ignorance is completely foolish. Self-torture. Ignorance involves austerity of ignorance. Hiranyakashipu, he did tapasya for 60,000 years and almost his body completely got emaciated. Only bones were visible. Only skin and bones were remaining. And Ravana, when he did tapasya, he cut off his heads and he put it in the fire to invoke Lord Shiva. So this kind of a tapasya is not the correct tapasya. It is mode of ignorance. The correct kind of tapasya is transcendental faith, Shraddha, not expecting material benefit, pleasing the Supreme. So we will see at the end, what is that? Charity. Whom to give, whom not to give. What to give, what not to give. Charity is a spiritual activity. If somebody is expecting spiritual benefits, then yes. But then, of course, it can be a very material activity also, because we see that some very rich people, they want to do donations and they want to show that they are very big philanthropists. They want to cover up their capitalistic face. So for that, they give a lot of donations for different kind of causes. But yes, of course, there will be some good things that will happen because of it. But the correct kind of donation which is expected in Bhagavad Gita is to give it dutifully without expectation of return, without any kind of advertisement. Okay, it's not for the sake of advertisement. I put my board there, right? My name shall be engraved there forever. No, not that. At the proper place and time. There is a proper place and proper time for every kind of dana. And to a worthy person. To a worthy person, okay? So, you see, we have seen that sometimes the most advanced countries, they give some aid, financial aid, and they sponsor terrorism, right? So what do you think? That charity is a good charity? What happens as a consequence of that? Anybody can say? What happens when a financial aid is given to a terrorist nation? Anybody can say? Is that a good charity? Is that a good use of money? What happens next? If you give arms, if you give money to those people who are terrorists, what will they do with that money?
They will start the war.
Yeah, they will not do food distribution for sure, or book distribution for sure, right? They'll buy some arms and ammunition and start terrorizing the world. Am I right? So this is a mode of ignorance to give it to unworthy people, right? Unworthy people, improper timing. And when you give it with some kind of a exchange mindset that, okay, I'll give you this, what am I going to get? Are you going to give me a receipt, or what am I going to get? Am I going to get some tax benefit? Anything like this, this is like a mode of passion. What is it that I'm going to get is mode of passion. Sometimes in a grudging mood, right? Oh, my younger brother gave so much, I shall give more, right? So this kind of things, the desire for fruit. So if I shall donate, what are the benefits that I'm going to get, right? So that's called mode of passion. Mode of goodness is like duty. You give it to a worthy person and you forget it. So when you give it to the right people, they use it in the right way, the money. Okay, they use it for a spiritual cause. So the best is to give it to a spiritual person. Spiritually, the devotee is the best person to receive any kind of a charity, right? So, or at least a person who is in the mode of goodness, or some kind of NGO who is in some, at least who are doing some kind of service. So we should be careful whom we are giving, right? Money, because I remember, I don't know if I told you, one day there was one person who came to me and he said, I was just outside somewhere, I was walking, and then he said, it's been a long time that I've watched a movie. Can you give me some money to watch that movie? Okay. Well, I did give him some money out of compassion, but I didn't think so much. Okay. Goodness, passion, grows. I just gave him because he asked. Okay. But don't do that. Okay. I also remember one incident where I used to be traveling on a bike, and there used to be one old man who used to very pathetically ask for money. And I was giving for a couple of days, and then somebody came to me and said, do you know what he does? Do you know anything about him? I said, no, I have no clue. Said, actually, he's with his family, he's fine. Whatever money he gets, he drinks with that money. Said, oh my God, what did I do? Okay. So don't do that. Unworthy people, okay, who will not spend it correctly, should give it to those people who spend it correctly, because the money that you give, if it is spent in the right manner, then you get the benefit out of that. If they use it in the wrong manner, that also will come to us, karma. If they use it if they misuse it, then we are finished. Am I right? So just think about it. I mean, I'll give you a very, very strong example. Let us say that you give 100 rupees to somebody. Okay. And then if that somebody is using that 100 rupees for buying a knife, and if that knife is used for torturing some animals or anybody else, what do you think will happen to us? Right? Do you think we'll get bad karma or not? Right? So we should be very mindful about whom we are giving. So before giving, we should actually find out whom we are giving, whether this person is worthy or not, because there's so many worthy people who actually need the money. Well, definitely there's so many worthy people. Okay, I'm not saying don't give, you must give. And being charitable is very nice. And the Shastra recommends that you be charitable. Actually, the topmost dharma, it says that if anybody comes and asks anything, you should be ready to give. That is the topmost dharma. Anybody comes and if you refuse, that is something bad. It is said to be, at least for Kshatriyas. For Kshatriyas, not for us at least. Okay, because once it was said, Yudhishthira Maharaj asks to Arjuna, why are you upset? Is it because somebody came to you and asked something and you are not able to give them? I mean, if somebody is coming and asking you and you're not able to give, that's also something bad. But again, we should be having some kind of a judgment, how much you're giving, what you're giving, and to whom you're giving, at what time you're giving. So time, place, circumstance, all of this will come into picture. So that's the reason why we say the best use of money, Lakshmi, is in the service of Vishnu. Make sure your money, Lakshmi, is in the service of Lord Vishnu. All right. So now we're coming to the main point. 17.23. This is what I was speaking about, right? Om Tat Sat. Have anybody heard this before? Hari Om Tat Sat? Yes? Have you heard this Om Tat Sat anytime before? If you have heard
Yes,
it, where did you hear
Prabhuji.
it? If you have heard it, where did you hear it?
When you offer all what you have done to the Almighty.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. When you offer something to the Almighty, when you do service to the Lord, we say Om Tat Sat. Right? So we'll go deep into this. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmanas trivida smrita. Brahmanas tena vedascha yagnascha vihita pura. From the beginning of the creation, the three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. So what are the three words that were used for indicating supreme absolute truth? Om Tat Sat. These are the three symbolic representations that were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during the during the sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. So the Brahmanas, when they are chanting the hymns of the Vedas and when they offer the sacrifices to the Supreme, and they're offering to Vishnu, at that time they chant Om Tat Sat. Let's see what is that. Om Tat Sat are the words taken from the Vedic hymns which are indicating the absolute truth. What is the absolute truth? The supreme absolute truth is Paratatvam, Parama Satyam, Satyam Param Dhimahi, Krishna. Also, there's a beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam which actually talks about Satyam. Satyam. Also, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a first verse, right, which says Satyam Param Dhimahi. I tell you, when Lord Krishna was about to be born in the prison house of Kamsa, all the devatas had assembled who were led by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. They had said this shloka. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye Satyasya satyam rutasatyan retram Satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha. Right? So this is such a beautiful verse. The devatas headed by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are praying, "Oh my Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect. Because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone." So why are they saying this now? Because Lord Krishna is right now in the womb of Devaki, is about to be born, not yet born. And they are praising him because Lord Krishna had promised that he will come. So he has decided that he will come for his executing his purpose of annihilating the irreligious people. So you never deviate from your vow. Krishna never deviates from his vow, from his promise. Name bhakta pranashyati. Kaunteya pratijanihi. It's Krishna's promise. My devotee shall never perish. It is Krishna's promise. Krishna never deviates from his promise. And then the verse continues. It says, being present in three phases of the cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. So the Lord is the supreme truth. We may have so many relative truths, but the absolute truth, which does not change, is Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the conclusive truth for the logicians. That means the logicians, they are looking for truth. The scientists, the researchers, they are looking for the truth. The investigators, they are looking for the truth. The doctors, they are looking for the truth. Everybody is looking for that truth. And that truth is Krishna. Okay, he is the truth that the logicians are seeking. The Bhagavad Gita says, I am the truth. I am the absolute truth, supreme absolute truth among the logicians. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the active principle, the real truth in all ingredients of creation. Therefore, you are known as Antaryami, or the inner force. You are equal to everyone and your instructions apply for everyone for all time. You are beginning of all the truth. Therefore, our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. Such a wonderful shloka, isn't it? Krishna is equal to everybody, and his instructions apply for everybody every time. For every time. It's not that Krishna's instructions were only for Arjuna, or maybe Krishna's instructions were only meant for Dwapara Yuga. This Bhagavad Gita was spoken in Dwapara Yuga. It's not meant for us. We are in Kali Yuga. No. It's not that Krishna gave this to Indians in India, so it's for Indians. It's not for the West. It's not for anybody else. No. It's for everyone, for all the time, always. Because he's so perfect, right? So we surrender unto you, kindly give protection. So this is so wonderful, right? This is Krishna. So why we are speaking about this is Satyam, to understand that the absolute truth is Krishna. Om Tat Sat. So what is the meaning of Om and Tat and Sat? Let us see. Om iti etat brahmano nedishtam nama. Tat comes from the Upanishad Vakya, Tattvamasi, Chandogya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad is a very important Upanishad. In fact, there are a lot of things that we can reconcile from Bhagavad Gita and Chandogya Upanishad. And whatever the Chandogya Upanishad says, Lord Krishna summarizes it in Bhagavad Gita very nicely. So Tattvamasi is from Chandogya Upanishad. Sadeva Saumya is from Chandogya Upanishad. Okay. So Om and Tat and Sat. Can anybody read this text below? Om and Tat and Sat. Please unmute yourself.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, one after the other. You read Om.
Om.
Read that transcendentalist, please.
Om iti yad brahmano nitshadam nama.
Read that English transcendentalist undertaking performances below. This one. Yes.
Transcendental undertaking performance of sacrifice, charity and penance in accordance with the scriptural regulation begin always with Om to attain the Supreme.
Yes, thank you. Next, who is going to read Tat?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, please.
Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next, who is going to read Sat?
Hare Krishna, may I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please. Yes.
Sat, the absolute truth, is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So this is very interesting. Now we will see the deeper meaning of this Om Tat Sat, and we will see the practical application. How does this translate into? We will try to understand. Okay. So it is coming from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 17, verses from starting from verse number 23. And so we have so far seen that penances, sacrifices, charity, and food, they are divided into three categories. What does penance translate into in Sanskrit?
Tapasya,
Tapasya. What does sacrifice translate in Sanskrit?
Yajna,
Yajna. So, who is the enjoyer of the yajna and tapasya?
Vishnu,
Vishnu. What is the verse indicating that in Bhagavad Gita?
Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam.
Yes. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Suhridam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti mruchati. So the original benefactor means who is going to receive this? Okay, you have done some sacrifice. You have done a fire sacrifice. Who is receiving it? Okay, you have done tapasya. Who is the final benefactor of the tapasya? Yajna and tapasya final benefactor, Krishna is saying it is me. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Suhrudam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti mruchati. It is me. And dana, yajna, tapasya, everything in the given in the varnashrama dharma is for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Varnashrama acharavato pumso Vishnur araditam paramah. That means the purpose of varnashrama dharma, if you are doing your duty, it's a worship of Vishnu. And so sometimes we say work is worship. There is some truth in it. Yes, work is worship. Provided you work for Vishnu. You work, that is, you do your prescribed duty, yoga karmasu kaushalam. If you do your prescribed duty without expectation of result, then that is the worship of Lord Vishnu. Got it? But if you do something whimsically, whatever comes to our mind, without any scriptural reference, without any guidance of the spiritual master, and with the expectation of result, that is like being attached to result and the work, that is not worship of Vishnu. That is not the correct thing. The correct worship is karma yoga. That is worship of Vishnu. Right? All the varnashrama dharma, the purpose is, why are we getting married? Why are we having all this kind of a system that the Supreme Lord has created? So marriage is not just Indian. It is the universal institution. It is even present in the aborigines also in the North Sentinel Island, okay, which is completely isolated from the modern world. When they get married, but who created this institution of marriage and whatever social institutions that we have, ultimate purpose of these social institutions is to work without attachment, as a sacrifice and as a offering to Lord. That is the proper mood, perfect mood. So whatever we are doing, we can spiritualize our activity simply. So easy, isn't it? You don't have to change anything. Just change your mind. Change the way you are working. That's it. You're not changing the duty. Nobody is saying, okay, if you are working as a lawyer, okay, now you become a doctor. Or nobody is saying, okay, if you're a doctor, just give up your doctor profession and just become a sadhu. That's not Lord Krishna is saying. He didn't tell Arjuna to give up his profession and do anything. He said on the contrary. Arjuna said, I will give up my profession. Krishna said, don't give up your profession. Simply change your mindset. You give the offering to me. Just act in such a way that you act under my instruction and the result you offer it to me. That is the perfect understanding of Bhagavad Gita. How many of you think that this is very deep? Type deep in the chat. Right? Such a deep message. Nobody told us this, is it not? Otherwise, we could have acted all our life. We did so many actions. We did so many good things, bad things, all kind of things. If we knew this information, probably we would have given more to Krishna. Right? All our activities we would have dedicated to Krishna. Right? So, yeah. So these are the three words, Om Tat Sat. They indicate the absolute truth. Right? So Omkara, what is the significance and relationship of Omkara with the Vedas? Can anybody tell me? Is there any relationship? Omkara and the Vedas? Yes, no?
Omkara is the Pranava, Prabhuji.
Pranava, okay.
It is the primary sound.
Primary sound.
And probably from that, that was an inspiration for Brahma to give us the Vedas.
Okay.
Is it
Yes.
true?
Yeah. Okay. Primeval sound. It's the original sound. It is a transcendental sound. It is a sound representative of Krishna.
Yes.
Right? And it is a sound representative of the Vedas also. So if you want to see, all the Vedas are in the Omkara. And inside all the Vedas is Omkara. If you actually make a textual analysis of the occurrence of Omkara in the Vedic mantras, whoever is doing anybody here doing Vedic rituals, used to doing Vedic rituals, puja, etc.
All our mantras start with Om, Prabhuji.
Am I right? Yeah, that's what. All the mantras start with Om. So you start with Hari Om Tat Sat first. Right. So first you start with Hari Om. First you start with Hari Om. Sri Guru Bhyom Namaha Hari Om. Right? And everywhere Om. It goes Om. Right? So Om. So Om is very significant sound. Okay, it is a sound representative of Krishna. It is an impersonal representative of Krishna. Omkara, all the Vedas are represented by that sound, Om. So there is a verse also called Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayaha. This is a Vedic mantra, right? So this is the holy. Whenever we utter the holy name of Krishna, we put Om, right? We say Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayanaya Namaha, right? Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha. Right? Even in front of the Swaha mantras also there will be Om. Right? So this is very important, right? Om Tat Sat. So formerly when Lord Brahma, he performed sacrifices, he indicated by these three words Krishna, Om Tat Sat. So what is the sacrifice? I'll tell you. Okay. When the creation of the universe happened, okay. When the creation of the universe happened, where did it spring out of? Can anybody tell me? Where did the universe come out of? From whom did the universe come out?
From Garbhodakashaya Vishnu.
From the navel of the Garbhodakashaya Vishnu,
Navel of the Garbhodakashaya.
there was a lotus flower which came out. And then the stalk of that lotus flower is containing all the 14 worlds. Am I right? And inside that flower was born Lord Brahma. And he was bewildered after being born. He saw only water everywhere. So naturally, he saw that I came out of this lotus. Let me just get inside the stalk. Right? Let me just do some investigation. He went inside the stalk, deep inside. He saw dead end and he could not see anything. He came back out again. He came inside again. He was not finding anything like that. Okay. Then at that time, he was bewildered. He heard tapa, do tapasya. Then he did tapasya for 100 years, right? And 100 celestial years. And then Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him. And when Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him, he did austerity. He did tapas. Vishnu gave him instructions to create the universe as it was before in the previous day. And he said, okay, do it. And then he wanted to do the fire sacrifices. Now to do the fire sacrifices, from where will he get the items? Can anybody guess? So at that time, see, near my house, there is one shop, Ayappa Puja store. Okay, I go there for getting some puja items. So what do you think at that time, Lord Brahma had any store there? That he can go to some Flipkart and or Instamart and order something and he'll get the or a puja store is available. So where did he get that items for doing the fire sacrifice? Anybody can tell? So this is the first fire sacrifice of world. Okay, I'm telling you the first fire sacrifice of the universe. So where did the ingredients come for that fire sacrifice is my question. Guess. Where will they come from? Any guesses? Just guess. It's okay, right?
Demigods provided them.
There were no demigods. There was only Lord Vishnu and Brahma, not yet born demigods. How will they provide?
From nature, probably.
Actually, Narayana Upanishad is saying that, sorry, not Narayana Upanishad, Maha Upanishad is saying, Eko Narayano Asit. Eko Narayano Asit. There was only Lord Narayana. Nothing was there. Nobody was there. What if, from nature, where is the nature? Nature is not manifested at that time still. Even that it's in a pradhana form. It has to spring into Satvaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, ego, it will mix with ego, and then the demigods will come, everything will come from there. Nothing happened yet. Any guess? So from where did he get all the ingredients for doing the puja, first yajna, fire sacrifice?
From his belly?
Yeah, it is from Lord Vishnu only. So the first fire sacrifice also is coming from Lord Vishnu only. That's why, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 9, verse number 16, Lord Krishna is saying, Aham kratur aham yajna, swadaham aham aushadam, mantroham aham evajyam, aham agnir aham hutam. You know what it means? But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, I am the butter and the fire of the offering. Means for doing fire sacrifice, you require all of this. Kratu. Kratu means Vedic ritual. Yajna, fire sacrifice. Swadha, oblations that you are supposed to offer. Aushadhi means you will put some vanaspatis, right? Like long, etc., etc. Some vanaspatis, I forgot. What is that? Some kind of fragrant things you put, right? You offer. Mantra, you have to chant some mantras, right? And then we have to put some ghee. We need fire and we need the offering. Finally, you give the Purnahuti. Krishna is saying, Aham kratur aham yajna, swadaham aham aushadam, mantroham aham evajam, aham agnir aham hutam. Everything is me. So from Lord only everything has come. So Brahma, he took things from him and he offered it to him. This has a deeper meaning. Think about it. Whatever we are offering to Krishna, we are saying, I prepared a nice kheer and offered it to Lord Krishna. Think about it. The gas has come from the Lord. Fire has come from the Lord. The rice that you have bought has come from the Lord, from the material nature, from his energy only. The milk has come from Lord's energy, it's his arrangement. Our intelligence has come from him. Our energy to cook also has come from him. The recipe also came from him. And then we are cooking and we are offering it to whom are we offering finally? Yeah? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is it very deep?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we go to Ganga for bathing, okay? That is when you go for Tita Yatra, you go to Ganga. Before entering into Ganga, the first thing that you will do is you'll purify yourself and take some water and offer it to Ganga. From where do you take that water?
From
From
Ganga only.
Ganga.
And
You take
offer
from
to
Ganga and offer it to Ganga.
Same here.
Same
We
here.
take from
Yeah,
Krishna.
we are taking
and
from
offer.
Krishna and we are offering it to Krishna. So Krishna is just saying that, just acknowledge that you have taken it from me and give it to me. That's all. He's not saying give everything away. Just like a small child, father brought the sweets. Child is taking the fruit, the sweet box and giving to the father first. Daddy, you eat. First you're saying. Then the father is very happy. It's not that he doesn't need the sweet. But you acknowledge, out of love you offer to the Lord is very pleased. That is a good behavior that he expects out of his children. Okay, that we offer it to Krishna. You see? So this Om Tat Sat, why we are talking about this is, Om Tat Sat is all about the spirit of sacrifice. It is about devotional sacrifice. That means ultimately giving to the source. From where we have got everything, we are giving it back to that original source. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. That original source we are giving away. That is the perfection. That is the supreme perfection. When you are giving it back to Krishna. That is the spirit of Om Tat Sat. Okay? So type Om Tat Sat in the chat. You got that? Okay. Now let's go a little deeper. Who wants to see now the practical application of Om Tat Sat? We spoke about sacrifices, tapasya. We spoke about yajna, so many things, fruit. Now, how do we relate all of this with Om Tat Sat? How do we give back to Krishna? How? So just stay back to hear that. The penance, sacrifice, charity, and foods, when aimed at the Supreme, they become spiritual elevation. The same thing, whatever activity that you're doing, just change the attitude. Just change for whom you are doing. Change the direction. That's it. From serving the senses, start serving the master of the senses. That's it. Little bit of change. That's it. Then it becomes spiritual. Everything becomes spiritual. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. Brahmagno Brahma Karmana. Right? So offering to Lord, Supreme Brahman. What is the austerity? The supreme austerity. You see, I'll tell you something very interesting. What is the tapasya aimed at the Supreme? So the tapasya aimed at the Supreme is this. Rising early in the morning is a tapasya. Fasting on Ekadasi and fasting on the appearance day of Lord in different incarnations like Ramanavami, Narasimha Chaturdasi, etc. is austerity. Nobody likes to fast, is it not? Nobody likes to wake up early in the morning, is it not? Everybody wants to sleep cozily in that winter cold. We want to cozily sleep under the blanket. Nobody wants to wake up before the sun rise and just sit like that, or do any kind of activity. But if you can wake up in Brahma Muhurta, that is a austerity for the Supreme, because you are following the instructions of the spiritual master. You're following the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master. That is austerity aimed at the Supreme. Now let us see what is the sacrifice aimed at the Supreme. What is Om Tat Sat? What is the kind of sacrifice that we are supposed to do? Now what shall we do? Lord Brahma, he took from Lord Vishnu, and he was his body is made up of intelligence. He knows all the Vedas. He chanted all the Vedic mantras himself, and he did the fire sacrifices. But now what shall we do now? Right? Sacrifice him. Now, very wonderful. Who can read this? Read this for me.
Can I read?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Sacrifice aimed at the Supreme Sankirtana Yajna Kali Yuga. Krite yadhyayato Vishnum Tretayam yajato makaihi dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You see, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Among all the fire sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names. Again, what chanting? Not chanting something. Chanting the name of the lover. No, not that chanting. Chanting the name of Krishna. Chanting the name of Krishna is called as japa. That is called as japa. Sankirtana means congregational chanting of the names of Krishna. Congregational singing of the names of Krishna. Nama Sankirtana. This is such an easy process, no? See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came out on the streets and he started dancing on the streets of Navadvip. And he entered into all the streets of Navadvip, irrespective of whether they are low caste or high caste. And everybody joined him and started chanting the names of Krishna. This is the perfect sacrifice. This is the perfect mood. This is what is meant in the Kali Yuga as dharma. For the Sanatana dharma, you can see all the Puranas have conclusively said the same thing, that in the Kali Yuga, it is Hari Kirtana, chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So rest assured, you are following the perfect path of the Vedas. The most perfect conclusion of the Vedas for Kali Yuga is to chant the names of Krishna. There is nothing better than this. It is the best. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu led this Sankirtana Yajna movement. Lord himself came in the form of a devotee. He came like a devotee and he chanted and he showed how we are supposed to chant. Right? Chant attentively. Chant attentively. Okay. Now, let us see what is the charity aimed at the Supreme. What kind of charity can we do to the Supreme? Let's see that. Prabhupada says, propagating Krishna consciousness is the perfect way or perfect usage of Lakshmi. Why? Why is that? Because Lakshmi is best when it is used in the service of whom? Rama, Ravan. Tell me.
Rama.
Lord Rama, Lord Vishnu. Lakshmi must be used in the service of Vishnu. Then she becomes very pleased. That is the original purpose. If we use Lakshmi for any other purpose, it is Maya. It's simply Maya. Lakshmi Devi is called Chanchala. She does not stably stay at one place. And do you know what is the name of Lord Vishnu? It starts with Chanchala.
Chanchalapati.
Yeah, Chanchalapati. How many of you have friends with the name Chanchalapati?
Prabhuji, I just guessed it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So he's like the husband of the fickle Lakshmi. Fickle means not fickle minded, but she doesn't stay in one place. She just keeps moving, right? Just like the stock market. Someday it's like bullish, someday it's bearish, right? So sometimes it's like up, sometimes it's down, right? A few centuries back, India was like the richest country in the world, but couple of from the last 200 years, we have become very poor, and now we are again rising back to our glory. So you see, that's what is Lakshmi Devi. So helping in propagating Krishna consciousness by donating money for book distribution, building Krishna's temples, prasadam distribution is a perfect spiritual activity. The most auspicious, because see, Bhagavatam question was by the sages, what is the most auspicious activity? What is the shreyas for the living entities? And Suta Goswami answered that Krishna consciousness is the most shreyas, the best beneficial activity for the humankind. Now, which institution in the world is focused on just doing this? Krishna consciousness, right?
ISKCON.
Yeah. Machitta sarva durgani matprasada tarishyati. Krishna is saying, nobody is very serious about that except ISKCON. There may be many more, but ISKCON is like completely focused on Krishna's instructions, right? The only purpose is this. There's no material purpose at all in ISKCON. Okay. It's just distributing prasadam, distributing of Prabhupada lectures, and teaching people Sankirtana movement. That's all. We are just following the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and giving this holy name to everyone. That's it. There is no other purpose. There are 7 purposes of ISKCON. We can read that some other day, but the only purpose is Sankirtana. It's like the ultimate good. So, there's a very nice verse. It says that Aham veti paro veti gananam laguchetasaha. You heard that before? Udara cherutam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Right? You hear this a lot of times from the politicians, but they have no clue. They are least qualified to say that sentence. Why? Aham veti paro veti gananam laguchetasa means this is mine and that is yours. We are one, you are something else. This is very low-minded people do such kind of activity. Politicians, do they do it or not? Our party, your party, do they do it or not? Yes or no? If you make us win, we will support the state. If you make us lose in the state, we will not support you. We will not send any funds. Happens? Yes or no? The politicians are like that, right?
Very much.
Yes.
Yes. That is Lagu Chetasam. So simply by saying that, by them repeating, it doesn't make any sense. Aham veti paroveti gananam Lagu Chetasam. Udara Cheritanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means those who are magnanimous, truly great, open-hearted people, they accept everybody as a family. Right? Just like ISKCON. Just like how Srila Prabhupada went to the West and he gave these instructions of chanting Hare Krishna to everybody. He did not see whether he is a hippie also. Oh, this fellow is a hippie. This fellow has got such a very bad past. He's having such a heinous habits. Let me not touch him. Let me not talk to him. Why should I give instructions to such a fallen person? Let me find some pure people and give. No. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire world is, everybody, Prabhupada's mood is he wants to make everybody chant the names of Krishna. He doesn't see qualification. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did not see qualification. Whom to give Krishna Prema, whom not to give Krishna Prema. Whoever came in front of his sight, he gave them Krishna Prema. Whoever was ready to receive, he gave.
He went to Jagai Matai.
Yeah, he went,
So-
Nityananda Prabhu went to Jaga and Madai also, most sinful people also. Right? So this is the greatness of the broad-minded people. I'll tell you one story of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya, he was a great acharya from the south, from Tamil Nadu, and he wanted a mantra upadesha. Basically, every mantra needs a upadesha. So he went to a guru and he requested for the upadesha. That guru said, come back. So he went back walking. He came back again after a couple of days, couple of months, and requested, begged, please give me the mantra upadesha. not the proper time, go back. He went back again walking, came back again after a couple of months. Again begged, please give the mantra, Upadesha. No, this is not the right time, go. Went back again, came back again. 18 times. 18 times. Patiently waiting. So finally the spiritual master said, okay, I'll give you the mantra Upadesha, but be careful. Okay, fine, problem, no problem. Be careful. Don't give this mantra to anybody, otherwise you will go to hell. Be careful. This mantra is very secret mantra, because anybody who chants this mantra will go back to Godhead. Don't give this mantra to anybody. Then Ramanujacharya took that mantra and said, yes, Guruji. And he went and he came to the first floor of the temple and he called everybody, please come here, please assemble here. I'm going to tell you something very important. How many of you want to become liberated? Please assemble here. They said, yes, we all want to be liberated. I'm going to tell you something very important. This mantra is so powerful. If you chant this mantra, you'll become liberated. And he started telling the Ashtakshari mantra. Right? And he said the Ashtakshari mantra in front of everybody. He said, everybody please chant. And then his guru was very upset. He said, how can you do this? How did you do this? You're going to go hell now. You're going to go to hell now. He said, Guru Maharaj, you said that anybody who chants the name will go back to Godhead, right? Yes. So will they go back to Godhead? Whomever have given the name? Yes, they will all go back to Godhead, but not you. Because you violated my instructions, you will go to hell. He said, yes, that's all right. It's okay if I will go to hell at the cost of all these people becoming liberated. I want everybody to be liberated. This is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam mood. Right? This is the spiritual master. Right? How Srila Prabhupada gave Krishna consciousness to the whole world. Give this. Be in the mood of giving. Give Krishna consciousness to everybody. Okay, think good for everybody. Let everybody be liberated. There is one Upanishad mantra which says like that. Let everybody be happy. Let everybody be liberated. Why only just be happy with money, material wealth? Let them be liberated. Let them all go back to God. Why they should suffer? Huh? This is so we should aim for this kind of a charity. Huh? This is powerful charity. Now, what are the foods offered to the Supreme? Mahaprasadam. Right? So, Mahaprasadam. So, we offer it to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and then we take it. This is an activity that we are doing for purifying ourselves. It's a spiritual activity. It's Om Tat Sat. It is an instruction of Bhagavad Gita. That's why we are giving prasadam. Prasadam Naivedya. We are offering to the Lord and then we are distributing the food to everybody as prasada. So this Mahaprasada is not different from Lord Vishnu. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate. Mahabharata shloka means this Mahabharata is this Mahaprasad is non-different from Lord Vishnu. Don't think this prasadam is different from Krishna. If you cannot give Krishna to anybody in the terms of philosophy or chanting or upadesha or anything or even books, give them prasad because you are giving them Krishna. Right? So this is Mahaprasad, food offered to Supreme. So we'll see something very interesting. Om Tat Sat. The sage Bhrigu tests the Trinity. How many of you heard this story? How many of you know what is this story all about? The sage Bhrigu, he wanted to test who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we all know in Hinduism we have Trinity. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. And then now the rishis were confused. We have Brahma, who is the creator. Who is the Vishnu, who is the maintainer. Shiva, destroyer. Who is the Supreme among all these three? Then they decided and then they elected Bhrigu Maharshi. Bhrigu said, whoever is the most tolerant is the Supreme. Because the most Supreme being must be the most tolerant person also. And tolerance is the measure of greatness. How much ever tolerant you are, that shows your greatness. The most tolerant person will be the most Supreme. Let us put a tolerance test for this. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara and Bhrigu went to Brahmaloka. He was the son of Lord Brahma. So he disrespected him with the help of his mind. Mental disrespect. He did not just say anything. He did not pay obeisances to Lord Brahma. Brahma was upset. How come my son is not paying obeisances to me? So then he decided and he moved on. He saw the agitation in Lord Brahma. He said, no, Lord Brahma is not the Supreme. He went to Lord Shiva. And then he started to utter something disrespectful about Lord Shiva. just to test him. Lord Shiva became upset and he took his Trishul to kill him. And Parvati Devi stopped him. Don't kill him. He's your brother. Don't kill him. So Lord Shiva stopped. Then Bhrigu decided, no, he's not the supreme. Then he intensified the test further. He wanted to take level 1, level 2, level 3. Now he went to the level 3 test. He went to Vaikunta. And when Lord Vishnu was in intimate moment with Lakshmi Devi, he went straight towards Lord Vishnu and kicked him on his chest just to see what will be his reaction. Lord Vishnu immediately became very alert and he bent in front of Bhrigu. Actually, Bhrigu is like the grandson of Lord Vishnu because he is the son of Brahma. Brahma is the son of Vishnu and Bhrigu is the son of Brahma. So his grandson. It's like a grandson kicking the grandfather. So grandfather doesn't take offense. When the grandson kicks, does any grandfather become angry? Tell me. No, right? Does any grandfather become angry when a small baby comes and kicks grandson? Right? So no. So he was a grandson. Anyways, so he was very tolerant. Right? So he was just tolerant and he just begged for forgiveness. He said, oh my sir, I'm so sorry. You are such a great personality. You have come here and I did not even know. I'm so lost. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Then Bhrigu comes back. He calms down. And then he decides that Lord Vishnu is the supreme because he's the most tolerant. Right? The most tolerant person is the supreme. He comes to the conclusion. But then as a consequence of this, something happens. Okay. There's another story that starts off. Maybe we'll do it as a separate workshop. Do you know what is that story? Which pastime is that? As a consequence of kicking on the chest of Lord Vishnu, who gets offended? Can anybody tell me who resides on the chest of Lord Vishnu?
Lakshmi Devi.
So who is going to get upset when Bhrigu kicks on the chest of Lord Vishnu?
Lakshmi.
Then something happens. Yeah, something happens then, as a consequence of which Lord appears as Srinivasa, Balaji, Govinda, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthana. Right? So we'll do a separate story on that one day. Okay, we are planning for that. All right, so we'll see that story then. So that's the thing. Ultimately, we have learned all of this today, chapter number 17. We'll just do a very high level overview. This is all about divisions of faith. 3 divisions of faith, right? So many different kinds of faith people have, right? So it is better we listen to the perfect person. Let's not miss out the opportunity to serve the Supreme. Starts with the question from Arjuna that what about those people who do not follow the scriptural injunctions and worship according to their own whims and fancies? Are they in Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna? Krishna says it depends upon their mode of nature that they have acquired. Their faith is also based on their nature. So I will tell you, typically people from Kali Yuga, we are all in a mode of passion and ignorance, or more so in mode of ignorance. Let us accept it. If we research ourselves trying to find out the absolute truth, we will not be able to find a conclusion. It's very likely we'll come to an atheistic conclusion, Darwin theory only, finally. Better accept the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita. The Sattvika people, they're worshipping demigods. Rajasika people worshipping human beings and demons. The Tamasic people worshipping ghosts. Sattvic people are attracted to sattvic food. Juicy food, fruits, milk, like that, which we offer it to Krishna, right? That kind of food. Mode of passion, passionate people, they like spicy, hot, dry food, burning food, which causes diseases. Those who are in ignorance, they like this kind of tasteless, decomposed, putrid kind of food, which is untouchable also. We saw sacrifice in 3 modes of material nature. And we saw tapasya of the body, worship of the Supreme Lord and Guru. Guru and Krishna, we should worship both. Guru and Deva Dvija Guru Pragnya Pujanam. We should worship the devotees. We should worship Krishna. We should worship the spiritual master. Right? That is perfect. And we should not be agitating speech. We should not give. And we should keep these 3 speech filters, 4 speech filters: truthful, speak truthful words, pleasing words, beneficial words, and unagitating words. Prabhupada says it is best if you can speak about Krishna. And do not bother about whether it is all of these filters are there or not. If you speak about Krishna, everything is just perfect. That's it. Just speak about Krishna boldly. That is perfect speech. That is the idea of why Krishna gave us tongue, to glorify him. Okay. And mind should be in control, calm, peaceful. Then it is an austerity of mind. Satisfaction is important. Tapasya also, 3 modes of material nature. Should not do tapasya out of pride or torture. Tapasya is not meant for self-torture. It is meant for pleasing Supreme, pleasing Krishna. Charity is not meant for expectation of return. We should not tell about our charity to anybody. I did, you know what, I did this. You say that, our charity will be lost. We should not be saying that. The desire of some exchange fruits, fruit of result, etc. Ignorance. We should not give to improper people. Give to the proper person, proper time. No, everything. Om Tat Sat we saw, very wonderful. 3 words to indicate the supreme absolute truth. It's used when the Brahmanas are doing the fire sacrifices. When they are reciting the Vedas, they'll say Om Tat Sat. When Jayapatak Swami Guru Maharaj, when he gives the class, he says, before starting the class, he says Hari Om Tat Sat. Starts like that. Right? Om and Tat and Sat. Indicating Krishna. The purpose is that whatever penance, sacrifice, charity, whatever foods that you're eating is at the supreme, aimed at the supreme. Then your life becomes spiritual, okay? Keep fasting on Ekadashi, Janmashtami, and important festivals like appearance day of Supreme Lord and appearance day of the Acharyas, appearance and disappearance day of Acharyas. And Lord will be pleased. And if you want to do sacrifice, do Sankirtana Yajna. Chant the holy names of Krishna. Perfect. If you want to do dana, contribute to the Krishna consciousness movement. Your contribution will be permanent, forever. If you want to offer the food to Krishna and then eat it, it's better than Satvik Bhojan. It is Shuddha Sattva. We saw how sage Brigu tests the Trinity and he comes to a conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Bharat. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions?
Prabhuji, I request Prabhuji, all these chapters, PDFs, will it be available for us, Prabhuji?
Yes, will be available.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Welcome. Hare Krishna. All right. So let's just quickly go through. Everybody, just tell me, like, how was the class? What did you learn? Quickly. Just in one short sentence. Jayanti Mataji, Hare Krishna, what did you learn? How was the class? Komala Mataji, Hare Krishna. Naresh Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Want to say something?
No, I learned 3 material mode of nature.
Yeah.
So, in the context of material world, if you can see any problem or anything in these 3 material nature of mode, you can understand that things are better.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. All right. Anybody wants to share?
Prabhuji, this is important for us to assess ourselves also, grade where we are and
Right.
elevate ourselves and introspect
Self-assessment, right? It's
every
like
day. Yeah, on every action that we do, kindly we can help and introspect and proceed.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else wants to say something? Share? All right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The class was very good, Prabhuji.
Thank
Learned
you,
so
Hare
many
Krishna.
things.
Dhanavad
Thank you,
pranams. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for the well explained session.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanavad pranam. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Very informative, Prabhuji. I like the explanation of Om Tat Sat. I just want to share with you whether what I have understood is correct.
Please,
Om
go ahead.
is Krishna himself. Is
Yes.
it right?
That's right.
So whatever we get, whatever is we are having in this materialistic world and also spiritual, everything belongs to Krishna. So we say Om Tat Sat and offer it to Krishna. Correct?
Right. That's right.
Okay. Okay. I was
It's,
not very clear of this.
correct.
So today I understood very clearly. Very well explained, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
And I like to have the recording, Prabhuji, to hear once again.
Certainly. I'll share that with you. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Prabhuji, your
yes,
class, it is on Monday at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock? Because I'm
I'm
missing the
sorry
Monday
about that. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7. It depends upon where I am. Okay. If I'm in
Okay.
Bangalore, I give it at 7. If I'm in Hyderabad, I give it at 6. Okay. So that's what
Oh,
happened. Right now, I'm in
6
Hyderabad.
will be ideal, Prabhuji. 6 will be ideal.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually,
Thank
going
you.
forward, we would like to move it to Saturday. That was a request. If every devotee is okay with that, we'll move it to Saturday.
Okay. Oh,
Saturday, 6 p.m. or something like that. Okay.
okay, Prabhuji.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, devotees, we'll
Hare
stop
Krishna.
here.
Brother
Hare
Dandat Pranam Prabhuji. It is
Dandat Pranam.
very high from the very worth class today. We read Om Tat Sat and other so many important events we have very nicely explained. Very grateful to you. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhu.